Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ham Shack TV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. Got some serious weather concerns coming on the horizon, beginning this weekend and lasting through next weekend. Let's get right to the details. Very dangerous setup we're getting here with the winter weather. So I want to start with, we got two systems, one this weekend and another towards the end of next week. And both of these are dangerous in their own unique standpoints. We're talking about the chance of some severe weather in the deep south, but what's going to be the real threat is going to be the freezing rain and snow. So let's take this one system at a time. We're looking at the 3 kilometer NAM, and this is valid as of 2 o'clock today. So as we see, we've got the winter storm breaking out over the plain states. And then it starts to move east. You got the low pressure center right around Oklahoma City. That looks like tomorrow, January 5th, around 11 a.m. And as you can see, this precipitation is starting to spread into eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, southern Indiana, places like that. So you see the pinks right around the East Tennessee area. We're starting to talk about some mixed precipitation. You get into the lighter pinks, we're talking about freezing rain. Actually, I have that inverted. The pinks are the freezing rain, and the lighter pinks to a peach color, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be a mixed bag, sleet, freezing rain, snow. So you can see we've already got that infiltrating East Tennessee. The bad thing is freezing rain is extremely dangerous. What is freezing rain? You may not know. Not a big deal if you don't know. Basically, it is where precipitation can start to fall as rain, okay? But the temperature at the surface is below freezing, so everything freezes on contact. You got glaze on your roads, your trees, all that. The more glaze you have on your trees, the more chances you have power lines coming down. So very dangerous situation. So here we are tomorrow morning, Sunday morning around 10 o'clock Eastern time. You see that starting to move into the east, eastern Tennessee. Central Kentucky's got a good mix. And then back towards Clarksville, Tennessee, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Paducah, Cape Girardeau, we're seeing that freezing rain. Very dangerous setup there. Up beyond Richmond, Kentucky, you start to see just plain snow. And here we are at 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and we have a good mix still across East Tennessee, mostly freezing rain across East Tennessee, but we're starting to see mixed bag of precipitation through central Kentucky, again around Richmond, changing to complete snow all the way up through Cincinnati and Indianapolis. We move on a little further eastward. Here we are, 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Got a lot of snow breaking out, possibly blizzard conditions back around Wichita and Topeka, Kansas, to just rain in Springfield, Missouri. But a very messy situation. As you can see, down towards the deep south through Arkansas, northwest Louisiana, eastern Texas, we see this line of showers and thunderstorms. Could be some severe weather involved in that, and we'll take a look at that a little later on. This starts to push eastward. Here we are, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday evening. And you see everything in Tennessee, for the most part, unless it's up in the mountains, has switched over to rain. And that will push through. Maybe a few of the high spots in East Tennessee we'll see some frozen precipitation, being freezing rain or a mix. Then as the cold front moves in, cold air comes in very quickly, and we'll start to see it transition back to snow towards the end of the snow event. Now, as of this recording, this is the end of this model run. So we'll take a look at some depth numbers. Let's talk about freezing rain just to start with. And not a huge concern of freezing rain across eastern Tennessee. Some spots may, especially up on the Cumberland Plateau and up in the Smoky Mountains, may see some freezing rain, have a little glaze. But the real big concerns are going to be across the Ohio River, all the way from, we'll say, Metropolis, Illinois, up through Cincinnati and over into West Virginia. Could have quite a bit of freezing rain in that area. Matter of fact, we'll take a look and query some of this data. You're talking over an inch in parts of southeast Missouri of freezing rain. Very, very dangerous. That is probably what I would consider the most dangerous winter weather that you could possibly have. Let's switch over to the snow totals, and we'll take a look at that. We'll say it's on a 10-to-1 scale, and you can see big snow numbers across Kansas, southeast Nebraska, and northern Missouri, central Illinois, central Indiana, southern Ohio, on over towards Maryland. But you're seeing some very large, high snow numbers. 26 inches around Cincinnati. That may be a little bullish, but it is indeed possible. So that's system number one. Let's go back and take a look at the severe weather opportunity during this particular event. I'll clear the map of the data, and we'll go to the severe weather outlooks here. That's not what I want. I want this one, and we'll turn on the categorical. So you can see we do have a 3 areas of concern. The green is your level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That's a marginal risk, and you can see that encompasses Houston on up to Jonesboro, Arkansas, Jackson, Tennessee, down to Huntsville, Alabama, Montgomery, Panama City Beach, and back towards New Orleans. Inside of that, we see the yellow circle. That is a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, a slight risk, so to speak. That could there could be even more chances of severe weather in that particular area. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Tupelo, Mississippi, down to Hattiesburg, just north of New Orleans, right around Lake Pontchartrain, over towards I forgot the name, Lake Charles, back towards Beaumont, Kingwood, North Cleveland, Texas, and up to Shreveport. And inside of that, we have a level 3 out of 5 risk, an enhanced risk for severe weather. That includes Monroe, Louisiana, Alexandria, Louisiana, Natchez, up to Greenville, Cleveland, Mississippi, Greenwood, Mississippi, and over to Jackson. So could have some severe weather risk tomorrow on the in the warm sector of this particular severe weather event. We'll turn that off real quick and let you see your tornado opportunities. There is some risk for tornadoes pretty much in the same exact areas as we spoke to. This area has just been hammered with severe weather lately, so folks in that area, just keep an eye on keep an eye out on this. I think the most noise is going to be made by the winter weather with this particular event as comparison to last week's event. But don't let your guard down by any stretch of the imagination. Real quickly, we'll switch over to some of the significant tornado parameter, and I'll turn off these outlooks from the SPC, where we can take a look at that. And we'll go back a few frames and just take a look at our STP numbers. And there is some. This is very reasonable to have a enhanced risk for severe weather based off of these STP numbers. Remember, anything above a 1 is considered significant. So central Louisiana, Alexandria, and over towards Natchez, Monroe, you can see we're getting unit 2 to 3 units. And as we progress through time, of course, that was valid at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Once it gets over into Mississippi, the threat definitely decreases some. But if you are in the risk area, definitely have some concern. All right, let's zoom back out, and we'll switch back over to our models. And we're going to go with the GFS, the United States Global Forecasting System. First, let's take a look at some of these temperatures coming in, and let the whole model load here. You can see we got the brutal cold air up around the northern plains, coming down through South Dakota, and just nose diving through the plains towards Oklahoma. And then here comes all the cold air through the next few days. We'll query some of this data, and you can see we're valid at 7 a.m. on January 8th, and you're seeing sub-zero temperatures from Grand Isle, Nebraska, down to Topeka, northern Missouri, and over into southern Indiana. We move forward in time. You can see some of that cold air spreads down the next day into Kentucky. You move down into Tennessee, you're seeing low temperatures in the lower teens as the storm system moves out. Now, what's going on with this? Let's switch over to the precipitation and take a look at what we may be seeing here. So we'll go back in time, and you see there's system number one, the one that's coming through this weekend. Leaves out of here with snow on the backside. Then we see the next system develop. Now this is a scarier system because it's coming out of the Gulf, so it's going to be have a lot more moisture to work with. But here it comes. We have snow and ice breaking out across southern Tennessee. A little warm nose comes up and changes over in East Tennessee over to all rain, but you can see it's short-lived and we're back over to snow. But big system. I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination this is another blizzard of 93 type event, because it's not. It's just it's not going to be like that. But let's take a look at some of the snowfall totals. They're coming in off the GFS. That's not what I want. Will it give me storm total? It's not going to give me storm total, but we move out in time. Here comes the system. You can see the change in the snowfall totals, and we'll stop it right around there. You can see parts of East Tennessee have 3 to 6 inches. Even in the valley around Knoxville, you're seeing about 3 inches. You get out towards West Tennessee, we're seeing 9, 10, 7 inches around Nashville. Huge snow numbers for the South. And some of the models have been hinting that this is going more down towards Birmingham. The big thing is going to be where this low pressure tracks once it comes out of the Gulf. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But just remember, there are 2 major winter storms that are going to be happening over the next week. We'll have to keep track of where the tracks of these systems are going to be, and just be prepared. So what can you do to be prepared? For one, if you're going to be traveling in your car, have a preparedness kit just in case you get stuck, warm clothes, maybe a little bit of food, definitely have some water on hand. And don't put the water in the trunk, because guess what? It's going to freeze back there. Make sure the water's inside the cab of your vehicle. What else can you do? As far as your home, you don't want any burst pipes, right? And when we're talking about those brutally cold temperatures, you're going to want to make sure your home is winterized. First thing you need to do, if you've got any outside spigots for water hoses, things like that, you need to get a faucet cover. As a matter of fact, I have a faucet cover here. This thing's nasty. It's been used a few years, but get these. You're available at your Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, whatever. Get them for like $3 or $4. Get those, and all you have to do, and I keep leaning into the camera, I apologize about that. All you do, if you've never used one of these before, inside of these you'll find this little ring. Hook this onto your water hose, or where your spigot is, and then you've got this little crimp on thing. You just take it, pull it down, tighten it on. Done. You're hooked in. That's all you need to do. If those water spigots are left exposed too long during cold temperatures, especially if they have any moisture left in them, they will freeze and bust, and you will have a bad situation. So make sure you get your water spigots covered. Unhook any water hoses. If you have any like baby pools or things like that, make sure the water's drained out of them, and you should be in good shape. Have another source for heat, such as a space heater, something like that. But do keep in mind, use good fire safety judgment when it comes to space heaters. Don't put a space heater close to anything. And do not, and I repeat, do not use a generator in your garage. Bad idea. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Always have the generator outside of your home. Also, if you do use any kind of like a radiator or a blowing space heater, do that. Make sure there's plenty of distance between furniture, blankets, things like that away from it, because those can catch fire pretty easily. So that's it for now. I thank you for watching. I'll keep an eye on this situation and update you if need be. I want to shout out at SpanWX on YouTube. Go check him out. He's got great information on this as well, and he'll keep you updated as well as I will. So that's it for now. We'll catch you on the next one. 73. This is AA4WX, WSCB 693.